Hello, my name is Asher Joseph. Today I'll be doing the communication process on a diagram. Communication process has 7 elements and 2 actions. Um, the first element is the sender or a speaker. It's a person who begins the communications, get the ideas, the thoughts, and all. Uh, it could be like a teacher giving an instruction or a boss sending an email to all of his employees. Um, Let me draw that out. Okay. Okay. The second element would be encoding, which is turning thoughts or ideas into like words or gestures or some sort of symbol. So the first three are, uh, the first one is language, what type of language it is, like what is it English, is it some sort of language. The second one is grammar. Is it in proper grammar? Are they saying the right words? The third one is nonverbal. Nonverbal are they doing any gestures or like a thumbs up, thumbs down, um, any sort of gestures or symbols? That's nonverbal. Okay, let me draw that out. Okay, so after the encoding, um, it's sending the text messages or stuff like that. Third element is message. It's the actual information or the idea which the speaker is trying to share amongst um, their students or their colleagues or employees. It could be like um, when the teacher is asking you, hey, I need you to send or I need you to turn in your homework by so and so date. Uh, so let me draw that out for you all. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see that. Okay. Okay. Next, when when the speaker or someone is sending a message, uh, first they have to go through the encoding process, which is language, grammar, and nonverbal, and then afterwards they're sending it through this communication line. which would be called the channel. Um, Examples would be like a face-to-face conversation, or like a phone call, text message, emails, so and so. Okay, let me draw that out for y'all. Okay. Then afterwards, the next element would be the person who receives the message. Um, it could be like a student hearing instructions from the teacher, or it could be an employee reading an email from the boss. Let me draw that out for you. Okay. Okay. After the receiver, it would be the sixth element would be decoding, which means interrupting, or they're trying to make sense of what the message is saying. Supposedly, it could be like a student trying to understand the assignment's directions. Um, it could be, let me draw that out. Okay. So after that, this is my process so far. Okay. So after the decoding, you had to send it back, or the receiver is sending a response back, which would be called a feedback. They're basically replying to the person who sent the message. It could be as simple as they're nodding their head, or they're replying saying, yeah, they got it, or they're probably asking a question or something like that. Let me draw that out for y'all. Okay. Oops. So I don't know if y'all can see that. Okay. And after that, you're doing the same process that you did in the beginning, which would be encoding. So the receiver who sends the message to the center is trying to encode what their language, the grammar, and what non-verbal communications are there. Let me draw that out for y'all. Okay. Okay. Then after the feedback, since you're sending the message back to the speaker, you're still going through the channel, which could also be like a text message or an email. So let me draw that for y'all. Okay. It's a bit choppy, but that's how it is. Okay. So after that, you're basically decoding, or the speaker is basically decoding what the message or the response from the receiver is. It also goes in the same 3 steps: language, grammar, nonverbal. Okay, let me draw that out for y'all, then I'll show it to you. Okay. Then after the decoding, there might be some interference, or as I like to call it, noise, which would be like disrupting the conversations, such as poor internet connection, people side talks, or maybe it's the unclear language. So, due to that, we have what it's called a noise. Now, the noise is interfering in the conversation, so we're gonna do the zigzag through the channels, or put a curly line. Okay. So, due to that, the noise is there. But you need to provide some sort of context, which would be like the environment, the circumstances, or where the communication takes place. It could be like the classroom. If the teacher is teaching, the students are in the classroom. Or it could be the workplace, etc. Stuff like that. So to recap, the speaker is encoding idea to the message, which would go through the proper channels and send it to the receiver. Once the receiver receives the message, they are like decrypting it and giving a feedback, which the feedback will go through the encoding process. The encoding, after the feedback goes into the encoding process, while they're sending it through the speaker, there's some sort of interference, which would be the noise, which would interrupt the understanding of the response back. And how this is all shaped would be the context on how the message is interrupted. So let me draw that out for you. Okay, so that's how the full design is. Hope y'all have a good day.